Hi, my name's Dr. Heather Johnston, and I'm the Content Director of Initiate in Europe. Initiate is part of a global impactful programme that seeks to support the vital entrepreneurial ecosystem by accelerating innovation and empowering next generation tech and talent through connecting them to traditional stakeholders in the energy transition. I'm delighted to be joined by Sietske Jacobs, Director of Initiate Global, to discuss the launch of a very exciting new product called InitiateTech. It's designed to benefit emerging energy techs as well as corporates and investors. Sietske, great to see you.
Thank you, likewise. Thanks for having me, Heather.
Now, before we get into exactly what InitiateTech is and what it does, why don't you take us through the kind of background work you've conducted over the last 12 months to kind of assess the market challenges and also the market need for such a product?
Yeah, thanks. That's definitely a good place to start. I think everybody who knows Initiate knows Initiate as a live feature and program that takes place during the live events that we host, whether it's at Enlit Europe, Enlit Asia, in Africa, or in the US. But we all know that innovation doesn't necessarily stop after our events stop. It's just 3 days in a year. And what we spent most of our time on in the last year is really seeing how can we create the impact to really support the community all year round. So when it comes to the next generation of tech, so start and scale ups, what is it that they need to thrive, right? How can we accelerate the adoption of working with emerging technologies on both sides of the equation? So what we've done quite a lot of research, and to be honest, like it's not so much groundbreaking in what we found. It's just reinforcing and confirming the assumptions that we already had and that we know from working with these companies for the last years. So the key findings when you ask a starter or scale up, it's getting the credibility and proof that they are actually ready to engage with large corporates or larger corporates, finding the right people in the organization, and as well the lead generation itself. Now, if you ask a utility, obviously there's nuances in whether it's a small or a medium utility, or it can be a corporate as well who is looking for innovative tech. For them, it's difficult to evaluate or to mitigate, let's say, the collaboration risk of working with these type of companies. They need innovative tech, but they know as well that not all of these companies will be around in the next 5 years. So there's an innovation gap, so to say, that still needs to be bridged. I think, yeah, a last one, and there's been quite a lot of activity already around this and quite a lot of focus, thankfully, now as well, is the scaling up across borders, which is quite difficult in Europe. You would say that we are one continent, we are, but the regulatory framework and the ecosystems per se are not and that's stimulating to get your company scaling in another country.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, Sietske. You've certainly whetted our appetite to find out more. So what is InitiateTech? How does it work? What does it do? And how will it benefit startups and scale-ups as well as corporates and investors working in the energy innovation space?
Yeah, so InitiateTech, we are launching InitiateTech together with the Disruption House. The Disruption House is a specialist benchmarking and analytics firm in the fintech space. And what they have found in the financial services industry is that what the proof and credibility that the companies need to work with financial institutions is often lacking. So how do we know? How do we know that the companies a bank wants to engage with, or for example, a utility wants to engage with, how do we know that they're ready or where they are on their journey? So what they have created is an enterprise readiness model, an enterprise readiness assessment, where we look at how well is the startup fits to scale, how likely is it to survive in the long term, and where is it on its journey? It's not a good, bad, or ugly. It is really a tool that helps the startup to see where they are as proof to show, you know, this is where we are, this is where we are on diversity, on product, on governance, and that will help the let's say the demand side, as in the corporates, the utilities, venture capitalists as well, to see how can we support this company in making them a good business partner for the long term.
It's really interesting to hear that InitiateTech came out of the fintech space and that it was very translatable from the fintech field into the energy tech space.
Yeah, definitely. And this was obviously first, we had to test this, right? It's not like, okay, this is a great idea, it works in fintech, so it is applicable to energy. In the last months, we have conducted a couple of POCs with the utility, with a startup, to see, does this fit? Does this resonate? Is this working? Obviously, the taxonomy is different as well when you speak about energy, but the proof so far and the pilots that we've conducted look very promising, and that's why as well we are confident that this product is definitely going to be able to contribute to our mission.
Sietske, thank you very much for providing a fantastic introduction to InitiateTech, and it's great to hear that it's a tool that we're confident will positively impact on the sector and ultimately help to accelerate innovation. Wishing you every success with it.
Thank you very much, Heather.